Have you ever overreacted in your life? You ever made an emotional decision in response to a negative event that adversely affected you? Human beings tend to respond to negative events via fight, flight, or freeze responses. This happens with financial decisions all the time, and its costs can be significant. This isn't just a therapy thing, this is a financial therapy thing. Now, don't get me wrong, emotional responses to undesirable incidents aren't always negative. For instance, let's take the fight response in finance, and specifically with investments. You might be the kind of investor that when the market goes on a massive dip, a massive drawdown, you fight it. You start buying the dips. You go in and you buy when everybody else is selling. And hey, oftentimes, good for you. That's easier said than done, though. A lot of people don't go into that kind of response when the market falls. It's hard to be the kind of investor that gets greedy when others are scared. It's much easier to be one that follows the crowd and flees when everyone else sees the ticker tape dropping and your monthly statement tanking. So that's the other response, the flight response, running when something bad happens in the markets. And the problem with the flight response is that not only have you made the decision to get out, you're going to have to, in the future, make a decision of when to get back in. And how do you know when to get back in? Which that can create a freeze response, where now you've ran because of flight and fear, and now you're frozen because you don't know when to get back in. The market starts to go up. Well, wait a second, I may not want to get back in now. It might go down again. It keeps going up, and all of a sudden, you get stuck. For instance, take the COVID crash of 2020, when the market pretty much dropped a third fast. If you had the flight response and got out, you would then have been potentially stuck and frozen as you started to see it climb back up very quickly. When would you have known how to get back in? Here's another response that therapists talk about: fawning. And man, we see this in the investment world a lot. Investors in headlines fawning over the next big thing, the whatever is hot in the moment, hoping to strike it rich response. But we can fawn over fear too. Some of us are wired to consume bad news like candy, burying our gold bars and dollar bills in the backyard, just fawning over the potential really bad things that are going to happen and how to make sure we're all prepared. And as always, not all of that's bad. But if it's a fawning response where you're just caught up in that, man, you can make some big investment mistakes as well. So, what kind of investor are you? Look at the past. Do an honest assessment of your response to various market activity in the past. Which one have you done? Do you fight when the going gets tough? Do you run into flight response? Do you freeze and don't know what to do? Do you fawn over fear or over the next big thing? Who are you? So the key with all these reactions is to recognize that you're a human being, to set guardrails in place to deal with these responses in a measured instead of reactive way. One way to do this is to consider having a financial professional help you. Now, whether you pursue outside investment advice or not, just remember that all of us are human. And sometimes we need to step back and remember our limitations and tendencies, our humanness, and its effects on our financial lives. Hey, do us a favor. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share it with friends.